All right, we have a really interesting weather system sort of setting up in our direction.
Yeah, you know, there's still a lot of unknowns, and one of the things about the pattern is when you're kind of on the edge of a frontal boundary where areas to the south are really warm and areas to the north are much colder, any little movement changes our entire
forecast. The whole thing.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. Let's show you what to expect. We're now heading into a very different pattern from, say, what we saw today. By the way, beautiful picture out there. The autumn color is really almost in full effect. We've got some beautiful conditions. It was a very lovely day, very typical of what we would expect for autumn. Now we're going to swing the other way. We're going to see the temperatures go way up, and we've already started to see some of the south winds kick in. That's going to really warm our temperatures up. So overnight tonight, not quite as cool. And that's important as well because it gives you a jump start on warming the temperatures up for tomorrow. Maybe a few 30s out there, but 40s will probably be more of the rule, especially around the city. And then looking ahead for the next 12 hours, I'm not sure why my video background is not showing up, but we'll just pretend that it's going to be dark the early part of the day and then for the overnight, and then the temperatures dropping into those 40s. But once that south wind kicks in, this is the graphic I wanted to show you, those 40s will become 50s and eventually 60s. And it could be a little bit breezy, but it's the south wind. This is the key because it's the transport mechanism. We're not going to warm up because of the sunshine really beating down and really helping to move the temperatures. It's all transporting warmer temperatures and unfortunately transporting more moisture as well, which means that rain chances go up also. Otherwise, clear skies expected. The larger view shows that overall it's a pretty quiet pattern, but this is about to change. High pressure is going to set up across the deep south and into maybe the southern ridge of the Appalachians. And once it does so, high pressure keeps things nice and clear. Well, that's great news for the deep south, but what does it mean for us? Well, we're on the periphery of that high. And typically around the edge of that high pressure, winds move in a counterclockwise direction. The periphery is what we call the ring of fire. It's where you typically get a lot of showers, unstable conditions, a lot of occasionally thunderstorms, although I think it'll be on the cooler side. But that will give us system after system of rain chances. But it's the south winds that will continue, and they'll continue that transport mechanism to bring even warmer air in. You'll start it a little bit on Monday. You'll start to see the temperatures begin to surge. We'll make it into the 60s, but you'll really notice it from midweek all the way through the end of the week. This particular computer model, which is the GFS, if you're curious, is this bringing the temperatures into the mid-70s. But look far to the south. There could be a few locations that flirt with 80s. We'll do this again over the next several days, and by the time we get to Friday, watch this. I talked about that dividing line. There could be some locations that are into the mid-80s to the south, but 60s to the north. Now look, this is 5 days out. There's a lot of wiggle room here. You change one little variable, and it makes a difference between some locations farther to the south into the 80s and many locations into the 60s. So having said all of that, what does it mean for our forecast? I've got 70s from Tuesday all the way through Thursday, but I've also got significant rain chances. The pattern changes as we head into the weekend, feeling a lot more like autumn.
2 words, transport mechanism.
There you go.
That's my takeaway. Thank you, Rob.
You got it.